Taco, 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 taco tribe. Come see what Taco Tribe can do.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great day. I just realized that I did not upload the last space onto our YouTube channel, so sorry about that. I'll be getting that done today. Hope everybody's having a great day. Nico's going to be a little bit late. I did ask a couple projects that are currently bridging to come speak as well, Coin Laundry and Deturians. And hopefully we'll get a couple of them in here today. I know Deturians is on vacation right now, so I don't think they're going to end up coming, but they said they will try to stop in, but I'm sure they got some stuff. It was Christmas the other day, so I hope everybody had an amazing Christmas. Hopefully you got everything you want. And today we'll be talking about bridging NFTs. This is something that I don't know much about. I would like to learn some things today. Hopefully there's some people in here that can give some insight on that, some opinions, and we can all learn a little bit of something today. So the subject of project bridging came up to me because, as a lot of you might know, D-Gods and the project Utes, which is made by the same person. Oh my God, I forgot who it was. They are bridging actually out to ETH and to Polygon. And we do have a group chat, and I believe Dave in the group chat was saying that it's strange and maybe not the best of ideas to bridge a project when it's not completely minted out, which I completely agree with. I think the reason that they're bridging out is most likely because currently they are on Solana, I believe, and Solana isn't doing too good, guys. I don't know. I don't follow many. I don't follow many different blockchains besides some ETH and some and mostly Polygon, obviously. I did recently branch out, and I do have a personal collection on ETH now, so I am kind of diving into that a little bit more. But I just want to know the process, the benefits, the cons of bridging an entire collection onto a different blockchain. The only things that I can see just from a general standpoint would be possibly because you're not getting a lot of sales. You maybe realize that a different blockchain is better for your collection. And I think, and the only thing I could say to that is the sales. Because what's if you chose a blockchain and you're sticking to it and you're minting out, or you're not minting out, uh, maybe trying to get some different holders. Polygon is in a completely different spot than it was a year ago. Um, it has a lot more eyes on it. I'm sure a lot of you know that a lot of the big companies are going on Polygon, doing deals with Polygon. And I think it's more enticing now to have your collection on Polygon than it was. At the same time, Ethereum, with the whole proof of whatever change, is also very enticing now for projects. Potentially, because obviously, to me, the biggest majority of collectors are still, Polygon's doing real good, but the biggest majority of collectors are still on ETH. So the only real benefit right now, I think, would be switching from, since Polygon is kind of just a fork, a better fork of ETH. And when I say better, I just mean in gas fees. Would be switching your collection from Polygon to ETH to maybe get more eyes on it. But at the same time, Polygon is I wouldn't even say the underdog, because they're definitely getting up there, the same as the ETH volume, especially with the Reddit NFTs. There's a lot of amazing collections coming out on Polygon, and it's getting put way more into the public eye than it was a year ago. And I believe, like, with a lot of mainstream companies and collections coming out on Polygon, the ETH maxis are realizing that, hey, maybe I should fucking check this out. So I'm very excited to see where Polygon goes in the future, and I'm very excited to hear y'all opinions about NFT bridging. If you guys want to jump up, I definitely want to hear from Bry today. Definitely want to hear from Dave. Definitely want to hear from Zalgo, and definitely want to hear from anybody that is has an opinion on NFT bridging. What's up, Bry?
Oh, hey guys. Hey, can you hear me? I'm trying out some new AirPods.
Got you, man. I hear you. I hear
Yes.
you. You get you
Yes.
get your AirPods for Christmas.
Yeah, my AirPods for Christmas.
Get your AirPods for Christmas. All right, man.
uh, yeah, so yeah, all about bridging. I think that
Well,
there's
so
many
you
stages.
you you actually created the bridge that Coin Laundry and the Turians are using to switch their collections to different blockchains, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Awesome. So yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So there's some different kind of stages. So for Coin, we kind of just sent them over. The really cool thing about Coin is that we're bridging more of a communication. So he's going to want to be able to stake, and this is really cool. He wants to be able to stake on one chain and reward on the other chain. And so the bridge that we have for that allows for the availability for recognition of NFTs on one chain to be able to reward with ERC20 tokens on the other. It's really exciting. On the Deuterium side, this is really cool too. The NFTs can move bi-directional. So it's not just like you take one and then you move it over and that's the end of it. It actually, if you move one over to Ether, you can move it back to Polygon. So if you want to
So,
move it to
from my basic understanding, because I've been trying to do a little bit of research about what NFT bridging really means, and me just googling for an hour or something. When you and I'm not sure how yours works, but when you bridge, you are basically creating another collection where you basically send your NFT, and let me know if I'm wrong, but you send your NFT to a different contract, and it mints a mirrored NFT to the other chain. And then let's say you want to bridge back, it basically burns that newly created one and gives you back the old one. And at the same time, what would be the benefit? And I'm sure you just create these amazing things, but what would be the benefit of rewarding on a different chain than when the NFT is on?
yeah, if you're talking about tokenomics and stuff and being able to reward through ERC20 systems, I think it's really a price, manageability, and utility. The ability that the Polygon chain offers, the reasons that the businesses are getting involved in it, is the idea for transactions. So keeping anything that has has the ability to process that many transactions at that fee is a lot better than looking at a layer one solution where even though the fees are better, you're still looking at higher transactions. I mean, you're still going to get like $2, $3 compared to fractions of a cent. I mean, and that's just optimal in that kind of ideology. So you get to have the NFTs on the chain of your choice, right? So if you like Ether, you like Polygon, you like whatever it is, you get to have it there, but be able to reward in the best ecosystem for the token.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, with the ETH proofs changing, the fees are extremely lower. But at the same time, when I'm trying to do just a normal transaction, a small transaction on Ethereum, it's still like a couple dollars. But when you do it on Polygon, it's pennies. So I feel like overall, Polygon still got ETH by the balls with that one. So how does one go? I mean, I don't want you to explain the whole process about how you made it, but how does it really work with switching a collection over to um a different chain? And Dave, what's up? If you want to speak first.
Just quickly with the Shanghai fork on ETH coming in March, the speed of ETH is about to ramp up by up to 100 times, which should also mean cheaper fees again on Ethereum, which is exciting. And off the back of that, it should mean things like Polygon run at the speed of Solana, which is also really exciting. So, like just on that ETH front, if we're willing to hold on a few more months, we should see like changes in favourable directions in regards to fees and speed.
Okay, yeah, I didn't hear about that at all yet. Do you want to explain that real quick? So they're forking it again, or?
Yeah, it was supposed to be one fork, and it's like the next sort of major upgrade. And I think originally it was supposed to be part of ETH 2.0, but like we know that got split out for multiple different reasons. And the idea of these next two upgrades, which combined, I think, or the upgrade is also the unlocking of the ETH staked for ETH 2.0 is happening at the same time. So towards the end of March, there's going to be a lot of Ethereum hit the market from people that have had it staked for I think nearly 2.5 years now. And then there's some major network upgrades coming after that, which is what the Shanghai fork is. And essentially the TDLR is or TLDR, sorry, is that the network speed is going to increase by up to 100 times, and that should reduce fees, but should also make building on Ethereum a lot more accessible to devs as well.
That's awesome. I mean, ETH is doing some really great things to like stay almost top blockchain, and that's awesome for me because I have had my ETH staked for about 2 years, and I'm pretty pissed that you kind of. I mean, I did it on Coinbase, and I kind of regret it. And right now, if you want to switch it, you have to like do some crazy, stupid stuff and bridge it to a different crypto that's worth less right now, so I'm refusing to do that. So that would be really nice for everybody that is currently and has been staking their ETH, and I'm definitely gonna have to look more into that. This is the first I'm hearing of that. I guess I am not really keeping up on that, so I appreciate that, Dave. But Bri, yeah, back to what I was saying, which I completely forgot what I said. Hopefully you remember. Hello.
Yeah, definitely. You're asking me about like just how that works, and just it's a couple of things, right? So there's a couple of ways you can do it. There is the burn way, but it essentially both ways are vault to vault. So the idea is essentially is that you put a vault on any chain, and it doesn't have to just be one chain. So like when we talk about the bridge, we talk about omni potential. So like omni direction. So anywhere that you want, any chain that you want, there's going to be a vault there. And so at these vaults, they could go. You basically take one, you could store one in the vault, or you could burn one at the vault. And then by that, this is where the other part of the system comes in, which is very big on encryption. So we basically shuttle the transactions that have the information. So like basically when one vault's it triggers an event. So the event itself will go to a server, and the server will issue a self-contained, self-authorizing message to the contract using what's called elliptic curve digital signature algorithms. Now, with these, we can verify that this message is unique and this message does come from the server, and then it will actually take the NFT and unvault it on the other side. So depending on what's going on, it will either create one or it will unlock one. So because of this essence, you could take it from any chain and put it onto any other chain. So if you want to go from Solana, if you want to go to Ether, there's another one that we're looking into. It's like Starweave, but it's a complete NFT blockchain, gasless, feeless, carbon neutral. We're looking into all these different options, but you'll be able to take your NFT, put it on all these different chains. It's actually going to create an ecosystem where people will actually start to look for these NFTs on the different chains. So it should be able to create a cross pollination for your collection to have even more eyes. And people might be hunting that too. People, because basically they can go on to these chains with zero fees, not royalty fees, obviously, but zero gas fees, transfer fees, buy it there, and then just move it to wherever chain they want.
So when somebody does that with their collection, let's say, and let's say you're looking at everything on OpenSea, if I have my collection, let's say, and half of them have been bridged to let's say Ethereum, is are all of those NFTs still going to show up as the same collection on OpenSea?
OpenSea will recognize those as different collections on different chains. So essentially with burning, the burning mechanism, it will take basically you'll be able to see, hey, this is my collection on Polygon and see what's available on Polygon. And then look over to Ethereum or whatever marketplace that chain has, and you'll see what's available on those chains. So there'll be different marketplaces. So yeah, Solana will have its own marketplace. The different chains, Tezos will have its own marketplace. But essentially, whatever's on that collection is what's available on that chain.
Okay. I mean, it would be nice for like maybe something in the future for exchanges to have it all. I mean, I understand that it's probably a different contract, obviously, because it's a different blockchain, but I feel like it would be nice to be able to see them all in one place. Obviously, the exchange would have to include all of the blockchains that it would be available on, but to have it all in the same spot and you can maybe pick which blockchain you're kind of looking at and seeing what's on there, because it's kind of counterintuitive to have to go to. I mean, and if you're looking for it on a specific blockchain, it wouldn't be a big deal, but it seems counterintuitive to have to go to all these different websites in order to find basically the same collection of different NFTs on the different blockchains. But I mean, that's kind of, I guess, just how it goes.
Exactly. Yeah, we've actually recognized some of that stuff too. So we have some stuff coming out for the internals. As you see, it's like they make you separate and pull apart these different IDs and collections. But I know we've talked and other people have talked to. We're going to be trying to bring together a solution where we won't have to do all these different things as long as we follow a closer standard altogether.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you're working really hard, especially for a lot of projects, and you guys are building some amazing stuff over there. If you guys haven't already, definitely follow Bry. He's an amazing dev. Octo, what's up, man?
Hi guys, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? What's your opinion? What's your knowledge? Pros, cons on NFT bridging?
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit to the collection that contains different like NFTs on the different chains. I look a bit at the sandbox. Actually, I own several pieces of land, and half year ago, I guess they um, advised, like maybe even forced holders to bridge lands to Polygon. so you can stake your land and earn some cent. But still, nowadays, you can see, if you check the Sandbox collection, you can see that there are lands on the Ethereum blockchain and on the Polygon blockchain. So, but it is the same collection. I don't know how they implement this. Maybe we should check the smart contract of the Sandbox.
Okay.
But I agree that it's cool when it is the single collection.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it would be. It seems just kind of weird to me that. I mean, but obviously, there's things that I don't know behind the scenes, and I'm sure Bry's like, well, you're idiot. But it just seems to me that having, let's say half your collection is on Ethereum and half of it is bridged to Polygon. Um, Not being able to see the entire collection on one singular page just kind of seems um, lame as fuck to me. so, Dave?
Yeah, I think platforms that offer this service, and I'm sure Bry's working on this as well, offer like the potential for you to be able to see these things all in one place if you're doing it. Like xp.network or network.xp reached out to me in the summer about Polygon Alliance. They offer a very simple bridging service where if you've got the smart contract written, it's very accessible and very cheap to bridge NFTs from one chain to another. And there's going to be different levels of these services, like Bri was saying, in regards to the potential to be able to have someone that can link in tokenomics and things like that. I know it was something that we were talking about with Goons Wars and the Goonolution. So it's exciting to see these ideas come to life. But yeah, I think for the most part with wanting to migrate, there's going to be different motivations. Some of it might be sales, some of it might be because you're looking at funding, and very specifically at the moment, if you want funding, you're kind of looking in the Ethereum market, in the Web2 market, and you were looking in the Solana market until the beginning of November and the whole FTX thing. But they're kind of the places where people are looking to make sort of, I don't know, VC investments, if you like, into NFT projects. So that's one reason people might look at bridging. The other reason is, Polygon sales have been slow until not well, they we're seeing large volumes, but because of things like Reddit, like you said, not necessarily huge volumes on OpenSea, and obviously Magic Eden dropping their OpenSea or their Polygon marketplace in the last couple of weeks is having an impact. But I think people want to be where people are purchasing NFTs. And that's the other exciting thing about Utes and Frank DeGos, just quickly, is that they're going to bring a load of purchasers from Solana, NFT purchasers from Solana into the Polygon ecosystem. So no matter what your feelings are, no matter what rumors you might have heard, it's going to be a massively positive 3 months with loads of new buyers coming in. And those guys over there are already reaching out and making connects within people within our community. So super excited about all of this news. Really think bridging can be a positive thing, but you need to know what you want to do as a project, and you need to know what your outcomes are, and you need to be confident in what you're doing. And again, I don't necessarily think there's a right or a wrong answer, and you'll never know what the alternative was. You're either not going to do it and not know what would have happened if you bridged, or you're going to put that bridging option out there and you're never going to know what would have happened if you hadn't have done it. So just be confident you're making the right decision for you, and you're looking into all of the appropriate information.
Yeah, I definitely feel whether you don't like NFT bridging or the whole specifically the and you said it, Frank the God, I couldn't remember who the hell it was, but Utes coming to Polygon, like Utes is it was one of the biggest, might have been the biggest collection on Solana, and now they're coming over to Polygon, and despite what you think of it, it's definitely going to be bringing a huge volume and a lot more eyes onto Polygon, and a lot more collectors that were originally not even thinking about Polygon. So it's definitely a positive push for Polygon, and that's a big reason why I think bridging can be great. especially if these big projects and things are coming over to our ecosystem. Zalgo, what do you think about everything? And I just spoke to Coin. He is not going to be able to speak right now, but he is working on a bridge with Bry. Bry, I'll probably have you explain again just while he's here what you're doing for him and what everything going on with his bridge. But Zalgo, what do you think about everything?
Yo, let me know if you can hear me. Give me some emojis.
Hello.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Doggo here. Yo, guys, I've been talking about interoperability. It's called interoperability, right, for a reason. To be interoperable means to be pretty much interconnected, to be able to work with one another. And interoperability has always kind of been the future. When I got first involved, it's always kind of like what I've foreseen the future to be. I think I've said recently, it's not going to be, in the future, it's not going to be like, are you on this chain or that chain? It's going to be like, this chain is more of a protocol for specific utility, and this chain is going to be able to do this. And everything's kind of going to be able to work together. So at least that's what I genuinely believe is going to happen in the future. And we're actually kind of seeing that kind of happen. As for the general positivity of it all, absolutely wonderful, man. Absolutely wonderful. The more utility, the better. The faster transaction speeds, the easier to onboard people. It's all positives. It's all positives.
So, Zalgo, your opinion. So, because Dave said, and what I had originally said was, um, the only real reason that I could think of for program a project to switch over blockchains is money. But Dave made a huge, amazing point that it's not just money. There could be a specific utility or whatever. What's your opinion on projects that have not completely minted out switching blockchains?
All right, let's be real. All right, so Polygon people, typically speaking, Polygon people are like really small time content creators. They're not like super rich, so I definitely understand if you had a brand that you were building, right? So, for instance, my wife Suli, she actually had to pick up a 9 to 5 recently. She actually sold out her Polygon project. I mean, she underpriced herself, but it's we've been talking about bridging for a long time for the Sulis. That's primarily more about not the utility of the blockchain. That's more about brand building, liquidity building, being able to actually build up a small time business for your art. So if that's what you're talking about, if you're an artist building up a brand and you need more liquidity for your small time business that you're building, definitely all for it. There are more collectors on Ethereum. Right now, this is a known fact, and you can more than likely price your art at a higher price point and earn a lot more money. So you can actually make a living. That goes without saying though. There's a lot of utility coming to all the blockchains, like we were just talking about with interoperability, with the bridging, and it's not just like one way or the highway. There's pretty much when it comes to blockchain. Going back to what I used to always say too, it's like you make lemonade out of the lemons, or you know what I'm talking about.
I do. So, do you think it's easier because not that there's a stigma around Polygon, but like you said, all the collectors are on Ethereum. Do you think it's easier to build a brand and say, "Hey, we're on Ethereum. We're on like the main blockchain," instead of being like, "Oh, I'm on Solana. I'm on Polygon. I'm on Avalanche." Do you think it's easier to build a brand because you kind of have that recognition on Ethereum?
At this moment in time, 100%, and that is my opinion. 100%.
All right, so Taco Tribe's bridging to Ethereum, everybody.
Oh, don't. It's not like that. It's not like that, bro.
No,
Like
I'm
that.
kidding. I'm kidding. Honestly,
You know what's
yeah,
up.
like
You chose Polygon for a
yeah,
reason.
and it was because what you had said. I'm one dude. I didn't have $1 million. I wanted to, the main. In case anybody doesn't know the little history of the Taco Tribe, I just wanted to. I've been in crypto for a long time. I discovered NFTs, and the whole thing, I mean, I've been very fortunate and lucky because I kind of just jumped in headfirst, not knowing what the fuck the space was like, not knowing anybody in the space. I didn't know anybody when I first made the collection, and I was just one dude with a couple bucks, and I'm like, I want to learn, and Polygon was there for me, to learn and not have to spend buku bucks in order to see how an NFT collection is made, how the whole space kind of runs. Shane, I believe this is the first time you've been here. How are you, man?
Oh, I am well. This is not the first time I've been here. I usually just lurk, but
First time as a speaker. Let me try and
fair. I guess you guys hit on a couple of points that I guess I wanted to speak on. All of us on Polygon, first of all, you can say you're on Ethereum.
I believe a lot of the projects here are on Polygon. Like I said,
Right.
yeah.
Well, we are on Ethereum. We are a layer 2. We're not competing with Ethereum. We are rooting for Ethereum to succeed, first of all. Second of all, on the bridging, I think Bri could probably help me out here. But one of my previous projects, not to be named, bad juju.
Name it.
Okay, fine, Warp. We had built out this amazing ecosystem. We just simply ran out of money. But the bridging mechanism that we used, they do have to be EVM compatible.
Now, so for somebody who's not up to knowledge, what's that?
Ethereum,
What's that? I know, I know what it is. But for everybody else in here,
it's the Ethereum virtual machine. It's basically Solidity. The code that they use, there are a couple of you can use Python and a couple other. To my understanding, I'm not a programmer. Don't hear what I'm not saying there. But we had built out this bridge. My developer had built out a bridge between EVM compatible networks, and it was just basically a burn and claim. You burned it from one network, and then there was a security measure where you had to wait a couple blocks in order to make sure that someone hadn't claimed on the same block as you and tried to, blah blah blah, claim the same NFT that just got burnt. So that was a security measure that we had to go through, and then it got minted or claimed and minted on the other EVM compatible network. My developer, T-Deli, Travis Deli is his name, came up with it. To my knowledge, it was a first in the marketplace. Unfortunately, the program simply ran out of money, and I'm looking at gathering a community to. Oh, my neighbors are coming by here. They're going to come knocking on my door here in a second. I'll continue this. I'll let Dave go.
Cookies?
I think they're inviting me over for New Year's. Hold on.
Yeah, you must be watching for us.
Yeah, I saw you. Dave, go ahead. I'll continue my point later.
So what I'm getting from what you said, and I'm sure you can come back later and explain, you need liquidity on that in order to bridge. And Brian, do you have any insight on that? But Dave, you got your hand up.
Go to Brian, see if he's got any answers for what Shane said first, and I just want to come back to sort of interoperability a little bit more and what like potentially Polygon and a couple of other platforms can offer in regards to that.
Yeah, Brian, what the hell is Shane talking about, man?
Yeah, so when he talks about EVM solutions, he's talking about anything layer 1, layer 2. And when he's talking about with liquidity, it sounds like yeah, thank you, man. It's for moving, right? So the gas side. So on the back end, like we work with an approval system where all the user has to do is approve. But from one side, we have to have the Ethereum and the Matic in the background to be able to move it around. So being able to have the funds to be able to use for the transfer fees and stuff like that is very important to have in the, to store up. And so if you're doing it from Ether, if we're talking about the old contracts and not the ERC 721As and ERC 721Bs, their fees could be anywhere from $40 to sorry, man, really dry over here. $40 all the way up to like $300 at times, as we remember. If you're using old standards, it could cost a lot of money. So you'd have to have enough money in liquidity to be able to move NFTs between that bridge.
And with the upgrades right now, that's kind of not the case. I mean, yeah, it's more on Ethereum currently than it is on Polygon, but that's not really, like, from what I've seen and from the NFTs I've collected from Ethereum and recently with me launching my AI collection on Ethereum, it doesn't seem like the transaction fees are insanely high right now, because a big reason why I when I started the NFT collection, like, I didn't know, I was just discovering chains. Obviously, if I didn't know anything, I knew that Ethereum was the chain to be on, and I started, before I even made the Taco Tribe collection, I was trying to collect a couple NFTs, and the whole story about how I was like, okay, I need to find a better solution than Ethereum is. I was trying to buy like a $7 NFT on Ethereum, and the gas fee was like $100, and I was like, there's got to be something better than this. And lo and behold, Polygon, hello. So let's say Shane was trying to do that now. He would have had a lot more. His liquidity or whatever would have gone a lot farther now with the proof change, correct?
Yeah, after the proof, using the ultra low gas fee contracts that we have, I think we're getting NFT coin laundries for like $1, maybe $2 gas fee at times. There's situations theoretically that there could be like 10-cent mints and 20-cent mints, but we're waiting to see those. Now, I mean, you can have significantly less liquidity to be able to do that. Most of the liquidity needed is upfront with contract deployment, but even now, as I said, with this new chain, it went from $1,500 Ether contract deployment down to like $150 to $300 Ether contract deployment. Complete change around. So I think that split was definitely good for that, because now you don't have to have a lot of money up front to be able to go to multiple chains, because Ether's the big hit. So now that we have that now in this nice little justified portion, it's a lot easier to manage.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now, more people can deploy on Ethereum and not be worried that they got to have, thousands of dollars of startup to start up. Shane, you're gonna say something?
Yeah, I'm back. My neighbors were just over to invite me over for their New Year's party that they're having. Just a friendly neighborhood party.
So this is like that they didn't call you; they just walked up to your door.
Yeah, that's how we do it here in Iowa.
Okay, that's like the '90s for me. When you ride your bike over to your friend's house to see if they can play. That's the past. That's weird. I would hate if someone walked up to my door and hadn't called me first. What if I'm?
Oh, really? No, that's the best.
To myself, I don't know.
Well, then, if you're doing stuff to yourself, you need to be in a private room somewhere. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would be, but then I scream from the other room. Hold on a second, I gotta clean up. I don't know, dude. If anybody ever comes to my house, you call me. Don't you knock on my door. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's the police.
You don't know your neighbors?
Hell no, I don't know my fucking neighbors. I don't know who. I mean, I live in a.
Ryan's from the.
No. I live in a very nice old mill that was converted into hundreds of apartments, and I don't know no one. I know their dogs. There's a lot of dogs around here. But
I'm sure you do.
I don't talk to the people though. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
All right. Well, should we get back on point here? I had another
Okay,
point.
yeah. I got distracted.
I forgot, or I didn't hear what Bri had to say. I did hear that he chimed in on what I was talking about, but does anyone know if anyone's made? Obviously, Solana is not EVM compatible. I have a theory about why Frank is doing this. And it starts off with the question of, has anyone successfully bridged from Solana to an EVM compatible network? Does anyone know? Bri, do you know? Anyone on the panel here?
Yeah, definitely. So like through testing and everything like that, it's just it's a handshake between Rust and JavaScript in the back end. So everything has to be authorized to the encryption, right? So as long as you have the capacity to be able to get JavaScript to talk to Rust, you're a-okay.
Okay, so
you need to deploy, so you need to have management. So one Web3 side, one Rust development side, and they just talk. One says, "Hey, the event." So it's an event-to-event system. So basically, the EVM says, "Hey, I fired an event," and then Solana says, "Hey, I caught that event."
Got it. So what would not be Frank's motivation for taking one of the biggest, if not the biggest, ever project from Solana? Do you think maybe Solana pissed him off a little bit? What I'm trying to say is, what would stop him from selling this bridge information? See where I'm getting? He's taking one of the biggest projects out there and moving it from
I think when your net value drops by 90% in like a matter of a week, I think you start looking at alternatives.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think there's a bigger picture to paint here.
Now, are you talking nefarious reasons, or are you just?
No, just not nefarious. He may have had some people over at Solana that have, may or may not have pissed him off. Reading the tea leaves here, and he's like, "Well, all right, I'm just going to bridge over. I have the team, I have the money, I have the intelligence, I have the intelligence of my team behind me. We're going to go over and bridge over to another blockchain, and then we're going to show everybody else how to do it as well. And we're going to sell it to them cheaply."
Well, I saw a thing, and this is not confirmed yet, or confirmed at all, but I heard that they wanted like $5 million from Solana in order to stay on the chain. It's not confirmed, and at the same time, I heard that Polygon gave them $5 million in order to switch to Polygon. I don't know the validity of that at all. It kind of sounds far fetched, but that there was chirps online about that.
Well, yeah, but there's also been chirps about other networks offering them way more to come to their network.
So, in your opinion, is there any validity behind that? I know it's just us randomly talking about stuff we don't know about, but do you think that could have been a factor?
Absolutely, it could have been a factor. I don't know, but I think that this is a slap in the face from Mutes to Solana, and from DGods as well. I think the reason they went Utes for Polygon is the 1155 and the benefits of having the 1155. The DGods is more of a, it's kind of set in stone, where the Utes is kind of it's more versatile, I guess, from my understanding and research. And the 1155 works out better. So I think that's why they went Polygon with the Utes and DeGods with Ethereum, and who knows if it's even going to happen. He could be pulling he could be pulling an Elon Musk right now. You know, there's another side of the coin. They might not even be leaving. They might just be drawing attention. So, I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day,
can I come in on this? Because I think I think the biggest risk to anyone creating on Solana right now is what happens with FTX and the fallout from that. Like, there is billions of dollars of crypto potentially locked up in that where no one knows where it is. Now, when that all comes back out onto the market, especially when like a lot of it is in Solana stablecoin format, what's that going to do to a token that's already been, you know, half destroyed by the actions of FTX? And when you look at like things like daily active dev counts, you know, Solana's dropped like sharply compared to everyone else. So if you're Frank de Gods and you've got one of the biggest projects and you're doing it as a social enterprise or a social experiment as much as anything else, I mean, if anyone saw the drop for Utes when they came out, it was apply to be whitelisted or allow listed, and then we're going to go and look at your profile, and we're going to decide if you're entitled to a drop or not. So, you know, everything that they're doing as a project is based on activity and people and engagement, and also because it's based on that aspect of the industry, they're not going to want to risk that on a token that's at risk. You know, especially if whoever the liquidators or the bankruptcy people end up, you know, just releasing the token when they come back in or when they recover them. So that's probably the biggest reason. But I think everything else that you said, Shane, will likely have had an impact, and there have been conversations in high places. And I think, you know, what CZ's potentially doing with this recovery fund as well will make a difference to some of these decisions. So yeah, it's, you know, interesting what potentially could cause this, but I think the primary reason is like risk averse management or risk management and trying to look at the best possible path forward for the project.
yeah, it runs deep, doesn't it? It's crazy how deep all this crap is intertwined.
I just want to say something like the whole Utes thing about, you know, their allow list kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, because obviously you don't know who applied to that or anything, and I feel like that was a way to, I mean, yeah, it was like exciting to see if you're on it, but I think that was a way for them to like basically add all of the main influencers onto a list without them actually applying, to just kind of drum up you know, whatever. Because if you're a big influencer and this big project is coming out, it's got a lot of hype and stuff like that, and you didn't apply, but you're on the allow list, and they probably messaged a bunch of people saying, "Hey, we'll put you on the allow list," like, you know, all that stuff. I just feel like that was a nefarious way to kind of drum up and get a lot of people in the space that are influential like onto the project.
100%. I heard they begged Dave to join, but he sternly and politely declined.
One of us. One of us.
I got asked, not by them, I got asked by other people to apply for it, and I went and looked at it and I was like, what is this noise? No thank you, I'm stepping away. And then I've paid no attention to Frank until about 3 days ago, and I thought it's probably worth paying some attention right now. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it all, and I'm trying to learn a little bit, because it's going to bring traction, it's going to bring excitement, it's going to bring collectors. We're, you know, like, I think Johnny from Billionaire Zombie Club is going to be hosting spaces, weekday spaces at like 10 p.m. EST from the first week in January to again just try and collate some of what we're doing again, and create noise as a Polygon community. So all of these are going to be opportunities for us to create exposure in front of people that don't know what Polygon NFTs look like, and it's a super exciting time, no matter what our other thoughts about it are.
Yeah, so I don't from I think you said earlier, or maybe it was Zalgo, saying that they might not even switch over. I feel like them not saying they're gonna switch over and not switching over is bad for their reputation. I do think it's gonna happen, but I think overall it is a big ploy to get eyes on them. You know, they're one of the biggest projects. They're quote unquote leaving that specific blockchain. You know, we're talking about it. A lot of people are talking about it right now, and it's kind of like free promotion. Um, and it's kind of like, if you never heard of Utes, you're hearing about it right now, specifically just because they're switching blockchains and they're a giant project on the single blockchain that kind of got fucked over by FTX.
And
Yeah,
just sorry, Shane,
Go
just
ahead.
quickly to add, I was speaking to Sam from Polygon Punks in our spaces yesterday, and he was saying, they've had some interactions, and Frank's, been very supportive of other Solana projects as they've grown. For whatever reason, like we spoke about the influence of this, or you did, Ryan, very very aptly, I think. For whatever reason that he offers that support, he has offered that support historically to Solana projects, and I think he will do that to Polygon projects. From the noise that I've heard, he'll want to lift up Polygon with him. Otherwise, what's the point of coming here? So, just really really excited. Sorry, Shane, carry on. I didn't mean to. Well, I did once I started, but sorry.
Love you, Dave. I guess I was going to say that was me that said that he may just be pulling on Elon and not coming over. But who knows in this crypto space anymore, guys? You never quite know what's going to happen 3 hours from now, 3 hours from now, let alone tomorrow, let alone a week from now. We've seen so many people and projects come and go. In fact, I just pulled up the NF tourney thing that we did last year it was primarily Polygon projects, and I was looking through the 64 teams that were on the list, and how many of those guys are around anymore? It's just nuts. I guess my point was we should, or I guess maybe not my point, but what I was leading into is we should be embracing this, as Dave was saying, and I think everyone up here on the stage is saying we should be embracing it and seeing how we can work with it. Not necessarily for ourselves, but for ourselves, for our family, for everybody that's here right now, and not being the derogatory voice behind in the background, and I don't think anyone here is going to do that necessarily, but there are people that I've been hearing that don't want the Utes in Polygon. They're like, no, you stay over there. You're a Solana project, and I don't quite get that. So I guess my question is, how do we go about cooperating and taking, I hate to say take advantage of, to make this situation mutually beneficial for our whole community? I mean, who should we appoint to reach out? How should we reach out? And I guess what are the next steps? Because I'm willing to take the leap. I know some folks, and I'm willing to reach my hand out, put my neck on the line. But I know you all will be with me. But there's some people that may not be with me that will support it, and then they'll just typical crypto style cut the head off the snake. You know what I mean, guys? So what are your thoughts on that? If that made any sense.
I feel like, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I definitely feel like it's definitely great, especially for Polygon. It's going to bring over a lot of collectors. I think the majority of people that are maybe against their whole switch is collectors. They're it's kind of like, I know there's a lot of collectors out there that are across multi-chains and stuff like that, but I think the majority of collectors stick with their kind. ETH collects ETH, Polygon collects Polygon, and I know that there's a lot of people in Polygon that collect ETH as well, and you know there's cross pollination there, of course. Um, but I don't feel like this would be a bad situation for really anybody besides maybe the holders that you know, we bought on Polygon. I mean, we bought on Solana. We're on Solana, and now they're switching over, and they, you know, it's not a big leap in knowledge, but now they're like, okay, now I got to figure out what the fuck Polygon is. Um, I feel like overall, it's definitely positive. It's definitely positive for all blockchains. I mean, maybe not Solana because it's losing one of their. It's going to be losing a lot of volume because it's one of their biggest projects is potentially leaving, and it also kind of puts a bad taste in everybody's mouth with for Solana because it's like, why are they leaving this blockchain? Like, what's wrong with it? What do they know that we don't? But I think it's definitely going to bring a lot of new people just being like, okay, the project that I own is on Polygon now. What else is on Polygon? And I feel like a lot of people are going to be looking at Polygon projects, and like you said, we gotta take advantage of this point, and what can we do to bring all these new collectors into a warm, loving space. Chadwick, what's going on with you, man? You got an opinion on any NFT bridging or anything we're discussing today?
Hey, is this Ryan?
Hello.
Hey, what's good? Is this Ryan that I'm speaking to, or?
Heck yeah, man.
Oh, sweet. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Chadwick from Pennsylvania. I just wanted to say hello and meet you. Got one of your tacos, and I like what you're doing. 20% going to Alzheimer's, and then yeah, this whole thing that's going on with the change of the youths is kind of cool to listen to. Just been playing some Sonic here. I don't know if anybody here has ever played Sonic on Sega. I just got it now, so I'm playing some old school gaming while I'm
Wait,
listening
are
to you
you
guys.
playing on an original Sega Genesis?
Yes.
Oh my God, it is the '90s. We are back in the '90s.
Yep.
I can hear it in the background. That brings me back, man.
Insta follow.
God,
It's a ton of fun. I'm so excited to play it. You know, it's like I just got past the first boss, and now I'm getting on to the second one, I guess, or whatever happens next. There's like a fire and the lava and stuff. So,
Quick question from like a British guy to all of you American. Like Sega Genesis, is that the 8-bit or the 16-bit? Because you had like the Mega Drive. And,
16.
So the Genesis was like the Mega Drive, right? I'm with you. Awesome. The Master System was the other one in the UK, the 8-bit system. Just if anyone was interested.
that brings me back. That brings me back. Chadwick, I really appreciate that, man. I thank you so much. I definitely appreciate you jumping on the Taco Tribe, and I saw that you also collected one of my AIR pieces. So I definitely really appreciate that. So as somebody who is,
yeah, great to meet you, and I'll keep on listening. How old are you, by the way? Just out
oh
of
man,
curiosity. You sound
you're
like
calling me out, man. Come on, dude.
Oh, you sound like you're around my age. I'm 31.
Okay, yeah, I'm 33. I'm 33.
Okay, cool.
And just so, I mean, just because you brought up the fact that we donate, we are making our final donation of the year. It will be a little bit smaller because obviously volume has been a low on Polygon, but we will be making our third of the year donation to Alzheimer's before the end of the year as well. So thanks for bringing that up. But as somebody, Chadwick, as somebody who kind of just, are you in a lot of other projects as well? Like, do you collect from?
Uh, yeah, I like Polygon. So I actually was just looking into creating my own project. I noticed that you follow this thing called Launch My NFT. I don't know if you use that to launch your NFT project.
So I mean, I follow them. I did not use it. It's definitely interesting to me when I found them. But I do have my own smart contract. And the only thing I use besides my own specific smart contract is for the AIR to use Manifold. But somebody who is in the Polygon space doesn't have a lot of knowledge on NFT bridging. How do you feel about projects bridging to different blockchains that you're mainly on Polygon?
I wouldn't say. I mean, I'm all over. I like Polygon. I like Solana. I like Ethereum. So I'm cool with all of them. So I would just say, it's exciting to see that. I like Polygon the most, just because it's one of the first blockchains I got into with NFTs, due to it being low cost entry, and so yeah, it's exciting to see that there's other that the Utes is like a huge project. They've made probably millions of dollars. It's crazy. Like $2,000 NFTs. I could never imagine myself paying $2,000 for an NFT myself, which is like around what Utes is to buy one. So I think you know that project coming over is going to make a big change in how everybody views the Polygon blockchain. Donald J. Trump, he just had launched his NFT project, and that's gotten millions of dollars as well. So it's like a lot of big projects, all the big brands, all the old stuff. I think everybody here is Polygon aware of what the big brands are, from like Macy's to Wawa to all Adidas and all of that stuff that's going on. It's exciting to see what's happening, and I'm just trying to follow it and learn from everybody here.
Wait,
So
does Wawa's have an NFT collection?
yeah, it's funny. Nobody. So I actually got an advertisement on Twitter. I guess they were directly targeting me because I was the perfect target, and so I found their advertisement. It was like, if you go onto our website, wawa.com, you can sign up for a free NFT. And so I did that, and I was a winner. And so I got a couple of their Wawa NFTs.
Yo, their Thanksgiving sandwich. I've only been to Wawa's once, but their Thanksgiving sandwich, super good. So as somebody who's kind of collected on Solana and Polygon, what do you feel about one of the biggest, or if not the biggest project moving over to Polygon? Do you think it's gonna take a giant hit for Solana? Do you think it's obviously? I can feel like we all agree that it's positive for Polygon, but how does that make you feel about Solana?
I don't know, and I don't care, honestly. But it's like what happens next? Is they going to come over to Polygon and then bridge someplace else? It's a project that I'm not involved in. $2,000 for each NFT. It's something that's like, it's fun to watch, and it's learning, and everybody here. So uh, if anybody here owns a UT NFT, it'd be interesting to hear from them, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like Shiny down there's got a huge. No, just kidding. We did an airdrop of like a Utes derivative. So if, I'm sure a lot of people got a Toots, I guess we'll call it a Taco Utes down there. But yeah, I mean the project it seems interesting. They kind of threw me off when the whole thing about they had I and I don't follow them like religiously or even mildly, but the whole thing about them like basically having the community create their assets, and then they basically hated all the assets and just started over or something like that. They kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, so I haven't really been following them. I thought it was a really good concept, um, but I don't know. They kind of put a bad taste in my mouth.
I will mention that I've been following on Solana blockchain. I've been following the ABC community. I like what they're doing. They have the CCO art, and like how you have it with your taco tribe. You have if you buy a taco, you get commercial rights to the taco. So that's pretty awesome. Um, I think that that's a huge utility, is for projects to give away commercial rights, and CCO projects. I think that could play a big factor into where NFTs go going forward, because when you're a CCO project and you give everybody the opportunity to use your art, that really allows anybody to use it, and then everybody finds out about it faster, and then more people become aware of it, and that just leads to like more people finding out about it, which leads to possibly bigger things. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like that's a way to like build a brand, obviously, and make it and make it like that's a giant utility. I feel like Dave.
Yeah, I think like right now, like how you define that as a project. I've got to go very soon, so I wanted to say a couple of things. So thank you for having me as well. But right now, you need terms of services to fully define that from a legal perspective. No matter what jurisdiction, what country you're in, you need to have terms of service if you want to give out your IP imagery for it to stand up in legal terms. In regards to a couple of the other things, Shane said earlier on about has anyone bridged from Solana to ETH or Polygon. I know that you can do that from XP.network, the platform I mentioned earlier on. So the functionality is out there. I've got no idea if a project's specifically done that, but I assume they have. If you're interested in finding out more about bridging, like do the Google search that Ryan did, or reach out to Bry. You know, Bry's got loads of knowledge about this sort of stuff. And if he can't help you, he'll point you in the direction of someone that can. You know, all of our time is very, very precious. So there was that, and there was one other thing that I can't remember. The ability to have cross-chain functionality. Poly Avail is really, really exciting in terms of how they want to take things off-chain from one chain and then re-interact with another on the other end of it. So that's something that Polygon are looking to do directly. And then there's a host of platforms that are building out cross-chain functionality from Harmony to things like Avalanche is big on cross-chain functionality. It's something Polygon are doing. Many of you will have used Trust Wallet, Near Protocol. There's lots and lots and lots of different things doing working on cross-chain functionality, and I believe it's the next phase of this space, and it's super exciting to be able to interact with whole new markets that we couldn't have done without incredible complexity sort of 6 months ago. But yeah, thank you very much for having me, Ryan. I've appreciated being here, and it's been some fascinating insight from all of the speakers. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you hanging out, Dave. You always got some great insight on all the subjects we talk about, so I definitely appreciate it. Definitely, everybody, if you haven't, Dave is a must follow in the space, so definitely give him a follow before he leaves. And I hope you have a great day and hope you had a nice, happy holiday. I would definitely agree. The space is changing consistently. It's there's going to be a lot of things that come out that we are kind of like, okay, why didn't we have this before? And I think we're seeing that now. It's going to keep evolving. It's going to be evolving for years and years, and it's going to be pretty crazy in the future. And I'm very excited for it. Somebody we haven't heard from is Nico. I don't know if you can talk, Nico, but what is your opinion on NFT and
Yep.
how is your holiday, man?
Everything was fine. I ate too much this year. I need to stop eating during the holidays.
So I ate so many stuffed mushrooms, man. I exploded.
Yeah, man. Food these days is like, and everywhere you go, everyone wants to feed you something. It's crazy. Well, now on the matter with the Solana, to be honest, I have no clue about what's going on, why they decided to do this. Is it good? Is it bad? One question I have is why they chose to take one project to Poly and the other project to Ethereum. I mean, if you're not doing something just for publicity, which it wouldn't be surprising for Frank, because doing publicity stunts is like his main thing for almost a year now. But if you're not doing it for publicity, then how can it be a planned situation to take one of your projects to Poly and the other one to ETH? Why not both in one of the chains? I don't know. The whole situation is weird. It looks weird to me. I have no clue what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
and I'm sure that Bry can give a good answer to that. I'm sure obviously he doesn't have any insider information, but he's doing something mildly similar with coin laundry. So if Bry could just speak on that a little bit, that'd be great, and then maybe transition into for the people that aren't here, what you're kind of doing for coin laundry since they can't really talk right now, Bry.
Yeah, definitely. So along the lines of this, the washers have been moved to the Ethereum side. There's just more what we could call tools. So there's more aggregation on the Ethereum mainnet, which leads to a lot more availability. So it's listed more on sites, it's listed everywhere. He has the ability to reach out to a higher audience, and why not? His art is absolutely amazing. I love how he captures what we have going on nowadays in a simple idea of the washers themselves. That's really brilliant. So I think it's going to thrive on the ETH market. But also he wants to provide utility that is something that is really native to Polygon, the abilities, the mechanics behind it. So by having a bridge essentially isn't the idea of it's not the end, it's the journey. So it's the idea that because there is a centralized point of which these two vaults or these two chains have to communicate between, that there's data aggregated. So there's APIs that can be created on top of this. There's a lot of metadata generation that feeds into a more data rich environment that we have currently with OpenSea and stuff like that. So it creates this ability to like when you're transferring these funds, right? So like, let's say if we're doing a staking system, and he's distributing the soap with the tokenomic system is like native to Polygon, especially with its low fees, its mechanics, the ability that the smart contract's 30 cents compared to hundreds of dollars. We could really mold and we could really build on top of that, but not just that, because of all the extra data that we're aggregating because of the movement through the bridge. So the bridge is essential, especially if you want to separate yourself from the current market platforms. And as we all can agree, the current market situation is stressful at best.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said. So what are you doing for coin laundry that's kind of similar? I know you kind of explained it earlier, but just so we can go over it again for people who aren't here.
Yeah, definitely, of course. So what we're doing at Coin Laundry, so they have the collection. So Jason has the collection on Ether, but we have the tokenomic system on Polygon. So essentially, what it is it vaults or bridges the information. So inside of your D app itself, you'd be able to he'll be able to take the Ethereum information. Like they'll be able to fetch the idea that hey, there's something held on the Ether side, and from that information, we'll be able to generate tokenomics on the Polygon side, and that's what we're building out for that. So it's a whole cross-chain or bi-directional chain of information that leads to a whole staking system.
Nico?
Yeah, just a question for Bree, in order to be certain that I get it right. So basically, what you're saying is that the consumer will buy the NFTs on ETH, but then any actions he wants to make inside the ecosystem is going to be through Polygon, right?
Yeah, correct, definitely. So he's going to employ a tokenomic system based in Polygon. So Ether NFTs, Polygon tokens.
Okay, so if we apply this idea to the Utes and DeGods situation, I can understand to take the let's say the collections to ETH and then create an ecosystem that is based on Poly in terms of transactions always. but why would he take also the huge to Polygon? Isn't I mean, there's no benefit to do that, right?
Well, it depends. Is it a one way or is it bi-directional? Are they going to be able to move the Utes from Ethereum back to Solana, or is it just a one way bridge? So are they taking the whole collection and just force pushing it over, or is it just one by one? So if somebody says they want to be on Solana today, they can be on Solana, or they can move over to Polygon or back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of information coming out right now. They kind of just have said that, so I'm sure we'll learn more in the future about what's actually happening with that. But I think overall, it's going to be good for Polygon, whether if they're able to transfer it back or not. Which I don't. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think they would. I also don't know shit about it, but if they're moving, I feel like because if most collectors that let's say have Utes right now, and they're like, oh, you have the option to switch over to Polygon, um, but you can keep it on Solana if you want. I don't really see the benefit of going over unless like they're anticipating like Solana crashing and burning.
That's a valid point. Like, but be honest. I mean, like, I think you'd have to be remiss if you didn't think there was a little bit of fear in the back of their mind,
Well,
for
I
this
think that could have
transition.
been a huge factor as well, with the whole FTX crash and Solana losing a giant portion of like liquidity and the devs, like you were saying. I think that could be a giant factor in them switching over. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. We'll see what they actually do, and we'll see how it goes. And going back to why they might go on Polygon and Ethereum respectively, maybe it's to test the waters on each. Like Zalgo was saying, like brand recognition on Ethereum is already there. Maybe they want to see if it's possible on Polygon as well, since a lot of big companies are switching over to Polygon. So maybe they're kind of just testing both waters at the same time and seeing which one works the best, and maybe eventually they'll move both over to the same chain, depending on how it goes. We don't really know for sure. It's definitely still being. I mean, I'm sure they might know, but they haven't given a lot of information yet. But it is very exciting. It's giving a lot of eyes onto Polygon. One of the biggest projects on Solana is coming over to Polygon, so it's definitely positive either way, and putting a lot more eyes on the Polygon blockchain. So I'm definitely all for it. We'll see what they actually do in the future, though.
Well, just want to say that I get what you're saying with testing out what's best for them, but it's not like you can do this multiple times, like jump from one chain to the other like nothing's happening, right? I mean, okay, you can do it once, but I imagine if I was a holder, it would have been a concern if Frank was every now and then decides to just jump around the blockchains,
Yeah, I definitely completely agree with that. It's going to put a bad taste in the holder's mouth, especially if they do it multiple times. And I'm sure they thought about that. I'm sure they're thinking of that in the back of their minds as well, because it wouldn't be good if they're just flip flopping and don't really have like a solid plan. And I don't really follow him or those projects that closely, but I feel like they probably do have a solid plan of what they're gonna do, and I think eventually, it depends. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like they'll eventually move to one blockchain. Maybe they'll keep it on two separate for whatever reason. I think we'll just have to see and wait until they kind of just say more about it.
Yeah, I get that. Also, I wanted to say because I don't see Zalgo in here any longer, but you said that he said that basically in Ethereum there is more recognition, etc. I just wanted to say that Polygon is pretty much recognizable, I think, by now. And also the prices that we see, the floor prices of the major Polygon uh, projects is pretty stable. I'm not gonna say they have huge volumes or uh, amazing floor prices, but they're stable, which is not something you easily find with Ethereum. I mean, in Ethereum, you have uh, some standard projects that they do well, and the rest of them got pretty much destroyed during the bear market. Also, we have some examples like MetaVixens in Polygon. I see also Anne is here, which is doing amazing during the bear. It's getting close to half ETH floor price right now. I mean, let's be honest. Polygon is not how it used to be when this whole thing started, right?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Polygon is definitely, I wouldn't even say an underdog. They're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and as of recently, we're seeing a lot more like all the big names coming onto Polygon and stuff like that. And I think that's a big reason why it's becoming a lot more recognizable. But the fact is, more collectors and the most collectors with like the most money are on Ethereum, and I think that might be a reason why they're going over to Ethereum with the D gods, and not with the Utes. I mean, obviously, I can't say for sure, but most collectors are on Ethereum. It's the most recognizable blockchain. Polygon's definitely coming up there, but it's not at the same level as ETH yet. So it's we're definitely on our way. We we're definitely getting more brand recognition. You know, more collections are more mainstream collections are happening on Polygon, and you know, it was a matter of time, but we're still not up to the same standard, I guess, as Ethereum in the mainstream eyes. So. But I think that is gonna be wrapping it up. I do have to set up some things. We're doing some Discord games after this for some NFTs, some queso, which is our Discord currency, and we're gonna be giving away some NFTs on community games on Twitch. Need to set all of that up. Like I said, I did forget. I completely forgot to upload the last week's space onto YouTube, so I will be doing that shortly, and I'll be setting all the stuff up for the Discord games and for the Twitter space. I have the Twitch stream so that we can give away some NFTs and stuff. So if anybody is gonna come by, jump in the Discord right after this. We will hang out and we'll play some games. So you can win some NFTs, win some queso to buy some NFTs, and then we'll give away some NFTs and some queso on the Twitch stream. So I really appreciate everybody coming. I'll just reiterate some things about the Taco Tribe. We've burned over 124,000 guac minting the Guaco Tribe. We have 31 minted right now out of 200. I am working on something behind the scenes for another mini collection, and I have to talk to Bry about this because I want it to be a little bit different than just a regular mini collection. But we are working on something. We're going to be doing our last donation to Alzheimer's awareness before the end of the year. So I really appreciate everybody that's supported and bought a taco this year. We've been able to donate over $3,000 this year to Alzheimer's awareness, and that's really amazing. As some of you might know, my grandfather passed away a few months ago due to Alzheimer's, so it's definitely something that's near and dear to my heart. So I really, really appreciate everybody that has supported the project, whether it was, you know, to help us donate or just enjoying the community that we've built. We are still working on a lot of things. Bri is still helping us with a lot of things. We have a lot of ideas that we want to come into fruition, but we're continuing to build, and I hope you guys come along with us. And thank you guys so much for coming today. I hope you guys had an amazing holiday, and I hope to see you guys next week, or in the Discord today, playing some games, getting some free NFTs and stuff. So I want to thank Bri for coming up. Octo, Zalgo, Dave was here. We had Shane come up, Chadwick. I really appreciate you guys giving us some insight, and I can't wait for the future of the space. There's so much happening right now. It's pretty overwhelming, and we kind of try to tackle one thing happening in the space a week here. So hopefully I'll see you guys next week, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out, and I will see you guys over on the Discord. Thank you.